Okay, so we're almost ready to get going. So I want to go over this part with you. All right, so that's what it's going to look like when you take it out of the box. That's the back of the unit. And as you see right here, that's the speaker. That's the little flashlight. And again, you turn that on the front. And it's going to have this plug. I don't know if you can see that. That port right there is going to be plugged up. All right, now it's kind of hard to see because it's really small. I had to put my glasses on to see it, but right above this it's got a little picture of headphones. Let me see if we can get it in there. It's got a little picture of headphones, and then it's got a little picture of something that looks like some kind of charger. All right, so this is the port that runs dual purpose. All right, so you pull that off, and you can't mix up the two because the port for the coil is 5-pin, and this one is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pin. All right, so this little cord that came with it, okay, got a USB on one end, and you got this on the other. This is what you plug into here, push it in all the way, and it is keyed. It's got a little thing hanging down, so it is keyed. You pop it on there, push it in, and then start screwing your connector down. And what you do is give it a couple of turns and then push it in again, and then give it a couple more turns. All right, that way you make sure it's seated. All right, that's where you plug it in to charge. All right, not only that, but that's also where you plug in if you're going to do the firmware update, and then you plug this in into your computer. Okay, and again, consult the website for Nokta, and it'll tell you if there's a firmware update available for the Simplex. All right, now this is also when you undo this, do it the opposite way of what you just did. Unscrew this a couple of times, pull it back a little bit, unscrew it some more. All right, this is also where you would plug in the headphone adapter. All right, and like I said, it's a little wire about this long. It plugs into here, and then it comes, it's got a little pigtail, and then it's got the jack that you could plug in your regular headphones if you did not get the wireless. All right, when that's not being used, of course you want to keep that covered up nice and tight. All right, this plug on this side, all right, I don't know if you can see it, but it says coil. All right, very small right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it does say coil. Okay, obviously that's where you plug in the coil. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the front of the machine. Okay, the important stuff. One thing that I want to point out to you: do not turn on your detector without the coil plugged in. I don't know what it does, but I've heard that just so many times all throughout the years that you don't want to do it. It might mess something up. So don't turn it on. I know you're just itching to turn this thing on, but please don't turn it on when the coil is not plugged in. All right. You may get some error codes or something like that. So since I don't have it plugged in, we are going to go over the quick guide that came in your book. All right, and again, the purpose of this video is to go over some of these settings, talk about what they mean for the beginners. Okay, if you're an experienced detector, maybe this is like the, you know, if you're like me, this is like the 12th one you've owned. But don't, I'm going to really simplify this because This is a great machine. It's an entry-level price, but it is an awesome machine. And this detector can really hold its weight against some of the detectors that may be in the $700 or $800 range, because it is just chock full of features. It's an awesome machine, but it's at an entry-level price. Okay, so I don't want to call it a beginner's machine, but because of the price point of this, it will allow a new detectorist to have a great machine. So when I go over these steps, I may be simplifying some of it, and some of you guys that have been out there, you know, who have been metal detecting for, you know, a while, you may say, hey, you know, why are you going over stuff that's just so basic? Well, I'm doing that because, again, I'm making this video for the beginner, for somebody that has got this new Simplex metal detector as their very first metal detector, and some of these settings they may not know, you know, what they mean. So I'm going to be oversimplifying some of it. So if this is way below your education level for your experience on metal detectors, you may just want to skip forward. All right. So at the very beginning, we're going to talk about that button right there. All right, that's where you turn this on and off. Hold it down for 3 seconds, it comes alive. All right, hold it down for another 3 seconds, it shuts off. Once it's on, take your finger off it. All right, because if you hold it down for 6 seconds, it's going to factory default everything. All right, any settings that you put in here that you like, when you turn it off, it's automatically going to save it, so you don't have to redo it every time. This truly is a turn on and go machine. You know, turn it on, do an automatic ground balance, start swinging. All right, so if you hold this down too long after it's turned on, it will do a hard boot. I can't remember what they call it, but it's like a factory reset. All right, so hold it down for 3 seconds, it'll come on, let go of it. Hold it down again, it turns off. If for some reason you want to just totally reset the whole thing, hold it down for about 6 seconds. Okay, and when you first turn it on, right here at the bottom, it's gonna say V, like version, and it's gonna tell you what firmware version that you're running. Okay, so when you go to the website, you're wondering if there's a software update that you need to do, the website's going to tell you what the current software version available is. Look at yours, look at theirs. If it's the same, you're good to go. If they did make a change to the firmware and come out with a new version, it's kind of like your phones. You know, look to see, you know, what the latest version is, do your update. Okay, and we won't go over the update because those instructions are on the website. All right, so right along the bottom, there's a row of little pictures, little icons, and those are your various settings. Okay, and those are discussed on the back of your page. All right, real quickly to go through there. There's a volume. It's got 4 levels. All right, 4 levels. If you look here, there's a minus and a plus. All right. Hit the settings button, and it'll toggle through all of your settings. When you get to the setting that you want, hit your plus or minus or your up and down to change that value to what you want. Okay. So the volume has got 4 levels. Okay, or you can do it, you know, in your headphones. Ground balance. really easy. This is your pinpoint button. When you're holding it, assuming that you're holding it right-handed, you're going to put your thumb on there, you're going to hold it down, you're going to put the coil down on the ground, and you're going to pump it up and down about 3 or 4 times until it beeps. Okay, and that's your automatic ground balance. Okay, do that before you start swinging for every new place that you go, because one side of your yard could be one value. You go to the backyard, it could be totally different. Okay, so you know, every once in a while check your ground balance, especially if you move to another patch of ground. Just do your ground balance, hold the button down, pump it up and down on the ground 3 or 4 times, you're good to go. All right, so the next setting on there has a speaker with a little nail next to it. That's your iron volume. Okay, now we talked about the notch filter a little bit, but we're going to talk about that some more. But you can notch out iron, okay, or ferrous metal. That's objects that have iron in it. It could be nails, it could be a horseshoe, it could be a axe head, a plow, you know, anything. If you're not looking for that kind of stuff, let's say that you're just looking for gold, silver, coins, you know, stuff like that, you can either, if you're in the all metal mode, you can turn your iron volume down. All right, so you can have it totally off, or you can bring it back up. I think it's got 3 levels. All right, it's got 3 levels. I would only put it on like the middle level, because you may want to still know that there's iron down there. Okay, if you're relic hunting, all right, if you're relic hunting and you're at a site where there shouldn't be any Coke cans or nails or anything like that, you may want to keep your volume, your iron volume up, because you could find some, you know, you might find a cannonball. You know, you never know. You know, so if you turn the volume, the iron volume all the way down, you're going to miss items that you might be looking for. But if you just really don't want to hear it, turn it all the way down. All right. If you want to hear it and know that it's there but skip it, then just put it on level 2. All right. Notch discrimination. All right. Again, hit your settings button. It'll go over to the next setting. When I'm talking about that, I'm talking about right here at the bottom, there's these little pictures. All right. And every time you hit this settings button, it's going to go to another little picture that represents your settings. Okay. And notch. Okay. Notch is really cool. But it can be used incorrectly or not to your advantage if you watch out. Okay, if you don't do it, you know, carefully, you can mess yourself up. All right, so you can do it automatic or manual. This says swing the search coil over the metal that you want to eliminate. The box that represents the group of IDs for that metal will be highlighted in black. Press the confirm button, and again, this is the confirm button. Okay, it's your pinpoint button and your confirm button. Or you can manually do it by using your plus or your sideways arrows to go to the value that you want to notch out. Hit your confirm button. It'll put an X on it. All right. Now those go in groups of 5. Okay, so you can notch out from 20 to 25 or from 25 to 30, whatever. Okay, sorry about that. The battery on the camera ran out. All right, so where were we? We were talking about notch discrimination. Okay, 2 ways to do it. The automatic way, let's say that you're at an old farmhouse location and you pulled up an old square nail. and you're like, man, I'm tired of digging these things up, I don't want any more. Easy fix. Easy fix. What you do, throw it back down on the ground, run your machine over it, okay? Use your settings button to go over to the notch filter setting. It'll look like an X slash and a check mark. Get it over that. It'll highlight the box associated with that value. Hit your confirm button. Done. You will not pull up any more square nails that fall in that category. But again, let me say, be careful using this. All right, if you're in a park or someplace like that where you're pulling up a lot of pull tabs, ring tabs. Now pull tabs and ring tabs, let me tell you the difference. The pull tabs are the square ones that you just pop and you fold back down and it stays on the can. That's a square tab or a pull tab. No, that's a square tab. All right. The old style that you pop and you put your finger through it and you peel it back and then it's like off the can, that's a ring pull. Okay. Those will show up somewhere around the same value as a ring. All right. So be careful using your notch discrimination trying to push those out because you might be missing a ring. All right. You don't want to do that. Okay. The manual way to do it, again, use your settings button right there. That's your settings button. Go over to the notch where it's got the X slash check mark. And then you can use your two arrow keys, your plus and minus keys right here. If you know the value of what you're trying to notch out, go over to that area, hit the confirm button, which is this one. Okay, hit the confirm button. That box will have an X on it. All right, showing that that's notched out. On my White's Coinmaster GT, it's got a really good notch system, and a lot of times I'll just go ahead and knock out the first 15 or 20 values because it doesn't have an iron volume, so I can't turn the volume down on those, so I just notch them out. You know, easy squeezy. All right, so the next one is frequency shift. That is not talking about the frequency that the coil sends through the ground, you know, the operating frequency. The frequency shift, what that does is it's got it's got three different values. Let's say that you and your buddy are metal detecting the same little patch, and your detector's messing his up, his is messing yours up, or you're getting some interference from some power lines or something like that. It will have a way to swing that frequency three different steps. All right, so if you're getting a lot of interference, or let's say that you're at a club hunt, all right, club hunts are pretty fun, but there's a lot of metal detectors out there all at the same time. So use your frequency shift to just get away from interference. Okay, kind of like fine-tuning the frequency so that you don't get as much noise. Okay, the wireless. All right, that's your next setting. It looks like the little Bluetooth. I mean, not the Bluetooth things. It looks like the little Wi-Fi thing. All right, so again, use your settings button. Use your little arrow keys to go over to that little picture for the wireless, and you can use your up and down buttons, and that's where you can turn it off or you can turn it on. It also has a thing, let me see, it's got 5 channels, 1 through 5. That's going to be really helpful. Let's say that you and your buddy both have a detector like this. They both work it at 2.4 gigahertz, and you're finding out that your headphones are trying to link up to his, or his trying to link up to your headphones. You know, you're just kind of standing there and you start hearing beeps every time he swings over something. All right, so use that to change the channel. All right, kind of like on a walkie-talkie. There's a lot of people over there, you know, talking on your station. Move it over one. All right, really, really helpful. The vibration. The vibration is cool. It'll vibrate the handle if you're hard of hearing. All right, it'll vibrate the handle, or if you just want to run silent, you know, and just, you know, feel for a vibration. When you hit a vibration, look at your screen, see what you're reading. So you can turn that on and off right there. The brightness adjusts the background, the backlighting of your screen. And then the LED flashlight, all right, back here on the back, all right, you can turn that on and off. Now, I want to talk about the battery, okay. I mentioned that the battery is a LiPo battery. What Nokta claims is 14 hours on one full charge, all right. Now, that is, I'm sure, with all available options turned off, not using wireless, you're using a speaker with the volume turned down, no backlight, you know, sensitivity down low, everything that they can do to squeeze out some power out of those batteries, 14 hours. Realistically, the way that we run these things with using the wireless headphones, various options here and there, I'm guessing maybe 8 hours. Still, 8 hours on one charge, man, that's pretty good. That's a whole day, all right? You know, hunt in the morning, plug it into your car or charge it while you're eating lunch. You know, go back out. Plenty of time. 8 hours. 8 hours is a long time on one charge, and there's a lot of machines out there that run on 9 volt, like a Tesoro. I think they get about 8 hours on a 9 volt. But so again, those are just a rundown of the basic settings. The only thing that's not covered on here, when you turn it on, right above the line that has all your icons for the settings, there's a picture of a battery that shows you your battery strength. You know, if you've been out there a couple hours, stop and take a look at that battery. Make sure that you're not, you know, about to die. You know, because even when it gets weak, it's probably not sending a signal as deep as you would like to. And then on, let me see, sensitivity. Okay, on this side right here, there will be, let me show you the picture on here. Right there. Okay, that's your sensitivity. For the new guys doing this, or girls, gals, the new people, all right, so for the new people doing this, sensitivity is kind of counterintuitive, because you would think that you would want your metal detector being as sensitive as it can be, right? I mean, that makes sense. You see sensitivity, well, I want to pick up everything down there, so I'm going to set my sensitivity real high. Well, no. Think of it if you know anything about like CB radios. Okay, CB radios have a squelch knob. Okay, now this is just the way I imagine it. If you turn your squelch knob on your CB too low, you start hearing all that static, all the. You don't want to hear all that, so you turn it up right to where you can just barely hear it, or just when it cuts out. Okay, that's when the CB radio is the most sensitive. All right, or that's when you're going to hear the best, because you don't have to listen to that static, but you don't have it turned up so high. If you have it turned up too high, you might not even hear somebody down the road, you know, because you've got it turned up so high. So the sensitivity on a metal detector is kind of like the same way. Personally, I like to turn the sensitivity sensitivity down until I hear a slight hum. All right, or some people call it threshold. All right, but if you're running along and you're hearing a lot of chatter and it's just going, just making all kinds of beeps, you don't want to hear that either. So turn the sensitivity back up. On my Nokta Force Relic, it's a pretty sensitive machine. Excuse me. So it's not uncommon for me to run that sensitivity on there in the 90s. Sometimes 95, but sometimes I'll cut it down to 80. You know, it just depends on where you're at. If you're moving it around the ground and you just hear a bunch of chirps and I mean a lot of chatter, turn your sensitivity up or down as you need to so that you don't hear those, so that you can only concentrate on, you know, just that one beep. All right, and then on the other side of the VDI number, which we'll talk about in a minute, is your depth indicator. Okay, obviously, you know, if there's only one little thing showing, it's going to be shallow, maybe 1 or 2 inches, and then the more it goes down, the deeper your target is. Target ID, all right. Some people call it VDI, but the target ID will correlate to this top row. All right, on this machine, it'll run from 0 to 99. On some machines, I think it's a MindLab maybe, that it'll go from negative 99 to positive 99, and that's when it's really getting picky. But that's the target value of the item that you just found in the ground. And then in between those and the top row are your 4 modes: all metal, field, park, and beach. And again, hit this settings button right here, or on here. This is your settings button. Hit that, and then use your plus or minus buttons. Now the plus and minus also have arrows pointing this way or that way. Use those to move the cursor or the highlighter across the screen to highlight what you want. When you find what you want, hit this button right here. That's the confirm. Boom, hit it and you're in that mode. It's that easy. All right, and then the confirm button is also your pinpoint. All right, so you're running it around on the ground, you're swinging it around, you hit a signal. Okay, you back it up, you go back and forth on it, it's repeatable, that's a good signal. All right, if it only makes a sound when you go in one direction, that's an iffy signal. All right, but let's say that you find a good signal, hold down the pinpoint button or also your confirm button, hold that down and it'll go into pinpoint mode, and that way it's a VCO, voltage control oscillator. Hold that one down, and the closer you get to the target, the louder it's going to be. All right, so go woo. Woo. All right, so hit that, and that's when the center of your coil. All right, that's when the center of your coil is directly over the object that you found. All right, and then you start your digging process. If you don't have one, get a handheld pinpointer so that when you make your little hole, you can take your handheld pinpointer, go down in the hole, and see if it's even further, or maybe you dug a hole right next to it and it's over on the side, something like that. But anyway, again, I'm not here to show you how to use this machine. All right, not today, not on this video. I've got waiting on some better weather, and I'm going to go out and use it and make a video about that. That's not the intent of this video. This video was for the new user that just got your very first machine, your very first metal detector, and you're ready to get it some settings under your belt and get it going, and you maybe had some questions about what these various settings mean. Okay, so if you can, subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, leave me some comments. If you got something out of this, you know, leave me a message, let me know. You know, if I got something wrong, leave a comment, let me know. You know, I'm not you know, I'm not the best guy out there. You know, I'm gonna make a mistake. So, you know, this machine is new to me, it's new to you, so let's learn it together. All right, and if you find some tips or something, leave me a comment, let me know, so we can all enjoy this wonderful machine to the, you know, to the fullest. So I'm Silver Pirate. Good luck, happy hunting, and I hope that 2020 brings you some really good stuff. You know, some good times. You know, get out there, get healthy. You know, get out there, walk some fields, walk a couple of miles out in the woods. It's great. Introduce your friends to it. You know, get your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, whatever. You know, get them interested in it too. You know, and I admit I don't get out as often as I would like to, because I don't know people around my area. I think I'm the only one who metal detects. You know, so if you're in Central Mississippi, drop me a line and let me know that you want to go. It's always a lot more fun going out with you know, somebody, you know, instead of going out by yourself. It's not a whole lot of fun. But anyway, enjoy your Nokta Simplex. Good luck. Happy hunting.